sticks. Sky crane to hang up because your ink's in.
A couple more minutes and then we'll let you.
So we found with our cameras that messing with the white balance actually helps take down some of that sodium. So if you want to play with that, you can white balance on the wall or something that
something with white.
Yeah.
Curiosity going up with that license plate?
What's that?
Is the license plate going up with Curiosity?
No. That was for the shipping container and just a very good idea. That was done by Sean here.
Yeah.
What's that? That's right, exactly. Be terrible.
And so the way we see it here is the way it's going to be on Mars.
Well, there are several things that are different. There's a lot that moves with the rover, right? So the arm is not just going to wander around straight out. We fold it up against ourselves as we drive. The arm then will actually move in many different directions, including out in the workspace in front of the vehicle, as well as up to the top deck of the rover to drop off sample. As well as over here you see 2 bit changeout stations with the 4 cones on either side. On the front, the lower left-hand corner side. So we'll be able to move the arm to go grab new bits when we wear them out throughout the mission. But this is the deployed state. We do see it on its wheels, and we will. The mast of the camera mast, the remote sensing mast, will be able to also pivot in any direction. It'll look kind of up and down and take its pictures as well as fire. Part of an instrument that will be very sensitive and is easily damaged. So those are typically the last things we pull off the spacecraft when we're ready. So there will be several things throughout the configuration that you see that we will remove from the configuration. But as far as the rover stands and drives and looks, this is pretty close to surface operations configuration. You guys picked a great time to be here because this is one of the final times that it'll be in this configuration. It won't be here for long.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Well, the targets that are all on the end here, those are celebrations? This is for the chemical.
Could you point to the end of the arm?
And so
the arm is actually this whole assembly here.
Cameras, we can tell what our
including that cylindrical piece there.
We hook up to it with a stand, so everything from here out is non-flight. So all of this is what we call the turret, and the rover turret consists of a drill assembly right here. The drill bit is here in the front with 2 contact sensors that help it preload against the rock and be able to understand orientation with respect to the rock. This area right here is a sample processing part of the turret. And what that does is it takes the products that the drill brings out of the rock and then it processes it, crushes it, and homogenizes it for drop-off into the instruments. There's a door on this side here that will actually open up and drop sample into the inlets on the top deck. If you see the top...
And so when the arm is stowed,
there won't be a window on the high bay. So you see 3 horseshoe-shaped things on the top deck. Those are actually guards around the inlets for this instrument. So doors open up inside, and that's where we drop the sample.
So we can put it there whenever we drive too.
Bueno, este es el Rover Curiosity, curiosidad. En noviembre va a partir, que se llama parte de la misión Mars Science Laboratory, laboratorio de ciencia marciana, que va a ser hasta el momento el robot más sofisticado, más lleno de sensores, el más complejo que hemos llevado.
Also in the back we have the UHF antenna that is actually, that's the coffee can looking thing on the top, and that's where we're sending most of our data through the orbital relay satellite. So our main data pipe is actually back through Mars Odyssey, MRO, and Mars Express.
So, one other question on compared to this rover compared to the MER rovers. Has there been anything done differently with the mobility system on this one to avoid some of the problems that MER rovers had?
A lot of what you see on the mobility system here is developed from or it's the six-wheel drive water mobility system. Well, that's the same. We have made some changes this time around, mostly because of the Atlantic. There's a whole new way of using the mobility system. And so we've had to use some proposed maintenance systems, like when we come down.
A little background on what it's like to work here.
Absolutely, it's both fun and hard. As you can imagine, building something that's going to go to Mars is very fun, very exciting, but it also obviously has its challenges. Anytime you're doing something for the first time, it's technologically challenging. Sending a new vehicle to Mars, it can be very stressful at times, but ultimately it's very rewarding. And here we are in the final stages, just a few months away from launch, so we're all getting very excited as we finally close out our vehicle and get ready for that launch date.
Stuff over there.
Senses that we've touched down, the rover will cut those cables in the descent stage, will then just fly off, burn up the rest of its fuel, and crash.
Maybe one Martian one day will find it.
Let's hope so.
Great, thank you.
Those 4 holes you see at the top, the little blade fingers on them, they actually seal out the engine.
Week 365 days a year. It's the Mars Science Lab. So what we do is we just go to sleep at night and we charge our battery. Ready to go. It's free in. Nothing like it's ever been built before, and I don't know if we'll ever see anything like it quite again. Quite a piece of impressive piece of thing.
2 years later, you want to use it, you fire the pyro, bam, 35 volts up to about 70 amps for an hour. That's 70 amp hour battery. We lit those off, did some testing with them, which is just amazing how long. I mean, it powers the whole descent stage when we go down in, actually, during EDL.
And what are those called again?
Thermal batteries.
Thermal batteries.
Not a very technical term, but yeah, thermal batteries. They produce all their energy because of chemical reactions inside the battery.
Very cool. You know all about that thermal battery.
The RTG will be able to provide power long beyond that, but it's, it will be a function of the rest of the system's capabilities. Things, actuators wear out, electronics wear out, the temperatures become extreme in some winters, and so we can't predict the lifetime of the rover or what will ultimately be the failure mechanism or that ends the mission. But we're hoping for robustness way beyond that point. We're designed for a baseline mission of 2.5 years.
Well, Peter, we know that we got to run. We know that you're busy. We want to thank you for taking the time and talking with us today.
Thank you guys. Balance on the wall or something
Okay.
that.
Something with white.
Yeah.
Curiosity going up with that license plate?
What's that?
Is the license plate going up with Curiosity?
No. That was for the shipping container and just a very good idea. That was done by Sean here. Wander around straight out. We fold it up against ourselves as we drive. The arm then will actually move in many different directions, including out in the workspace in front of the vehicle, as well as up to the top deck of the rover to drop off sample. As well as over here you see 2 bit changeout stations with the 4 cones on either side on the front, the lower left-hand corner side. Those, so we'll be able to move the arm.
3 sticks. Sky crane to hang up because your ink's in.
A couple more minutes and then we'll let you.
So we found with our cameras that messing with the white balance actually helps take down some of that sodium. So if you want to play with that, you can wipe. What's that? That's right. Exactly. It'd be terrible.
And so the way we see it here is the way it's going to be on Mars.
Well, there are several things that are different. There's a lot that moves with the rover, right? So the arm is not just going to